Friday night, we were out here, and it looked like Walking Dead. The zombies were walking the street, and Logan County Sheriff's Department was all staged in the road.
This is a video of Swannanoa, North Carolina from October the 12th, documenting some recovery efforts and the conditions here on the ground and from the air for those who haven't seen them, both locals and people from the outside. I live in Black Mountain. I've been here for 8 years. I'm going to pan left here. Right now we're looking east. And now as I pan left, we are looking west towards the town of Swannanoa. That's Highway 70. I'll be headed west in this video, capturing a few more places. Right now we are at the KOA, and I will zero in on that here on the map. What you can see on the map is how things looked according to Google Satellite not too long ago. So the Swannanoa River came up and came right through the KOA campground. This was one of the best spots to camp here, looking down the lake. Now this was a shallow lake, so two things I think have happened. One is the levee or dam has broke on it, so it drained, but also a tremendous amount of sediment has been deposited in it. So I think it was only several feet deep as far as I know. So it wasn't tremendously deep, but it's definitely been changed. Here at the end, there was the road kind of looped around. There was a couple small campsites there between two lakes. And you can see here on the map, there was a road. We're looking at where there used to be a road here. And so there's a path that you could take to go around this lake. That right there is the missing road right there. Now the camera's going to turn around. We're facing south now. And now we're going to pan. I'll look back down at the lake, and then we'll turn to face west. So now we've turned to face lengthwise down this lake, and you see that it's both been drained and definitely changed quite a bit from the flood. Currently not sophisticated enough to overlay dramatic music for this, so really this is for informational purposes, again, for those who haven't seen it or seen this area. Check out the earlier video I did of Highway 9 south of Black Mountain. Let me pause it and actually back it up there. If you've been into the KOA, there were sites along here. I see these cabins are still here. I'm not entirely sure what might be missing, but the road came around this way, and these are all sites for RVs and camping. This cabin is still here. I referred to the best spot in the whole campground is right about here. If you're by yourself, you weren't camping right next to anybody, and you had a view right down this lake. But just about a 360-degree view of the mountains around here, just gorgeous. As we kind of inch forward on the video, you'll see the bathhouse here. It looks like it's really been taken out, and then along here there were another another area with campsites, and it looks like it's all just been taken out. All right, so let me flip over to the map again and show you which way we're headed. So this is the KOA. This video picks up somewhere around here, driving west. So some of the landmarks are Hipstone, new animal hospital, Swannanoa Valley Animal Hospital. And then we'll drive down into the intersection over here. For locals who have driven through here, you'll know of the this area that there's a Diamond 4x4 is going to be on the left. On the right-hand side is an area that had sheds and mobile structures for sale, and those were completely wiped out. And throughout the road, you'll see those on the right-hand side of the video. Then as we come around over to this side, we'll see the Swannanoa River on the right. We'll come up on this bridge that goes over to Old 70, and then we'll stop in this area to do some talk to somebody and do some drone show some of the drone footage. Water came up pretty high. Of course, in this area there was silt on the road. Some of these buildings fared much better than others. I don't think necessarily because they were stronger, but the water just chose a path. And some places were spared. But as we get into Swannanoa, almost nothing was spared. This area was full of the sheds and things. This neighborhood on the left was just completely decimated. There are still cars leaning up in these trees, and things are just turned over. And this is the Swannanoa River to the right. One of the challenges for restoring water to Asheville, because their water comes from the Burnett Reservoir in Black Mountain, is that the water lines are underneath Highway 70 over there to the right on the other side of the bridge. So they've had to rebuild restore miles of pipes there. There's a Beacon Veterinary Hospital on the left. All right, let me pause it here in a moment. I'm going to have an audio interview with Steve, the owner of this building here. It used to be a tattoo parlor. Then if you've ever driven through here in the past couple of years, I believe 4 years, he was a woodworker, would do live edge projects, tables, furniture, things like that. My wife and I actually commissioned him just earlier this year to make some beautiful white oak floating shelves for a renovation we did in our kitchen. And in the interview, you'll hear him offer up some shelves right here that are still hanging in his shop, and I declined. I wasn't putting him down on those shelves, but more complimenting him on the beautiful shelves that he made my wife and I.
And I wish I could say it, but it's pretty badly damaged.
Yeah.
Didn't help for that roof to come down on it.
Right.
That's the only reason it's in there, because it got trapped. The CNC came out beside it somewhere. It's
somewhere.
Way up the road somewhere. It was
The condition of that would be pretty bad, huh?
Oh.
It would have been tumbled and rolled and.
All right, you might could save the frame. I don't know, because it was a very heavy frame. It weighed 760 pounds. But
Unreal, the power that came through here.
well, the water was up almost to the bottom of the ceiling in that room right there, and that much pressure, water zipping through.
Yeah.
Hey, you want some more shelves? I haven't taken those down in there. Yours are better than that one.
Oh man, mine are way better.
We
I
just-
love the pipe fixtures.
That's
That's
what my
real
partner's
cool.
wife wanted to do. Totally redid the office and get it ready for Christmas. And
Well,
apparently God had other things in mind.
He's got a plan.
I do believe that.
Well, I'm
We
not.
survived it, so
I'm not in taking anything.
Yeah.
I don't. I wouldn't want to. Even though you just offered, I wouldn't want to set an example.
Okay, before we go forward in the video, I just wanted to share a quick story. Over here, behind these trees in this neighborhood, is where a friend of mine lives, and he was at home with his daughter when the flood hit on Friday. They saw the water coming up real quick. They couldn't get out. Water had come up I think about 4 feet high around their porch, flowing around the house. Quickly after that, water was coming up through the floorboards. Minutes later, it was over his ankles, and he put his daughter up in the attic and climbed up himself. And as the water came up about, I think, halfway up the walls in their first one-story home, and they waited it out up there. And I believe it was only a couple hours, and the water started to recede. They came down. They made it out safe, thankfully.
Just offered, I wouldn't want to set an example.
Well,
I
Bob,
was down in Old Fort. I got caught in Old Fort when it came through on Friday. Friday night, they were already losers.
oh, Friday night we were out here, and it looked like Walking Dead. The zombies were walking the street, and Logan County Sheriff's Department was all staged in the road because Ingalls trucks were trying to get back to the warehouse, and they always get off at that
Yeah.
exit, and they were blocked up end to end from beyond where you could see there, all the way back to the light, and people had gotten in there and they were wandering around all over the place. They couldn't back up and turn around, so they brought policemen.
All right, that that interview ends there. We just crossed over 70. Now we're going to turn up and go east, east down Swannanoa River. Where on the left they're repairing the water pipes as well as Highway 70. All of these buildings on the right, I believe, are a complete tear down. Most of them are missing the back wall of their shop. This red roof building on the right is was a tire repair mechanic store. Cars are all turned over. You can see a car down in the lower right here. I don't know if that was outside or washed out the bottom of it, but they're all flipped over on the inside. You can still see this van down the embankment there. And while I've lived in the area for the past 8 years, this gas station here on the corner has not been operational, but it's completely wrecked. You can see the corner of the building completely missing there. And then part of the bridge was undercut, probably an eddy or something on this side, just washed out all the concrete and the footings of the bridge there. Hard to see, but over on the right-hand side, this mulch and gravel yard. I think it might be Asheville Mulch and Gravel. I can't recall the name of it. They have one of their very large front loaders down in a ravine, half covered up by mud. A big sinkhole of sorts formed here at the intersection right by Beacon Veterinary Hospital. Okay, so let me flip over to the map again. We have gone down past this intersection, and I launched the drone out of the parking lot here of the Shell station. This used to be Jimmy's on the River. Now it's I believe Good Company pizza shop. Best of my knowledge, they received a go-ahead that they don't have a tear down, and they're going to be able to renovate inside and get business going if they can do it. Now we're going to retrace our steps here and fly back east on the Swannanoa River, but it's worth seeing. We'll do a long flight path going back there. Over here on the right is the BP. This blue thing here is a Samaritan's Purse is doing water, and that's a large water bladder. Must hold hundreds of pounds. You see the back side of the parking lot from BP has been washed out. This area over to the left is fairly low lying. There's a couple trailer home parks over there. I have not driven down 70. It had been blocked for a while. I believe it's open now. I believe a number of homes were lost over there. I don't know what to make of this tent camp setup here. It may be. They're working around the clock on this section with the pipes in the road, so that could be displaced people that lost their homes. That could be, I don't think it's the workers, it's probably displaced people. I believe right in that area there were a number of homes in a low area. So they've completely rebuilt that 70 there on the left, bringing in all the gravel, leveling it out. It now has the new pipes to bring water to Asheville. I believe 80% of Asheville's water supply comes from the Burnett Reservoir. And now we're flying west again towards the intersection of the road that is, I think it's McCoy Cove. It's the Swannanoa exit off of Interstate 40. There's Ace Hardware and an Ingles there off to the left in the distance, the large parking area. There are aid stations in virtually every large parking lot around. Right, let me hit pause here and show where we're going on the map. So I have driven west on 70, and we're at the, keep going west here. We are at the Super 8 The reason I came to film over here, and I want to go ahead and zoom in on the satellite view so you can see what this area looked like, at least as of the last Google satellite image. Where we were starting on the video here is walking down into here in the Super 8. You can see that there are three buildings that are part of that hotel, and you can see the train track comes down here into a large kind of warehouse manufacturing facility. And you can see right here, this big lawn is a driving range, like a golf driving range. And we're going to do a quick walkthrough of this hotel and then do a flyover of this area. And the reason I'm doing that is a couple days ago, I was with a team digging down in this area where the river had come through. We were tasked with digging where some cadaver dogs had flagged for more exploration, and I didn't capture any of it. It just wasn't the time to do it. But it was just so decimated in here. I wanted to do a flyover again, and it was great that I did. I was able to show some of this footage yesterday to the owner of the Root Bar here. They found out that their restaurant is a complete teardown. It's a loss. But they didn't get the opportunity to see from the air exactly what had happened in this area. So you can see the water had covered up these buildings, completely tore them out. As I understand, there were still people staying there. I don't know how many lives were lost, if any. But there were people were checked in. Their personal belongings are in the hotel still. You can see this building has been completely pushed off of its foundation. So it was nested up against this other building, and these pylons were the foundation, and it just got pushed kind of clockwise in turn. And then as we get to the drone footage, you'll see the other buildings. Really, so here's building 1, 2, and then 3 is entire. There's one section of building 3 behind this tree. But this area, there is no evidence of any buildings remaining. It's not even pushed off to the side or a roof or walls or anything that you can see. It was just minced up and taken downriver. I'm going to go back over here to show the Google satellite view so you can see what we're looking at. The this whole water path and what was carved and left here by the river just didn't even exist prior to the flood. You can see to the right some semis in the trees, semi trucks in the trees. This stretch of the railroad is all undercut and turned on its side in some places. Now we're coming up on that warehouse that I had mentioned. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen now, Anchor Steam Power. And then as the camera pans right, that area that's all silt and mud is the driving range. That is the large grass field you can see on the map. Now we're looking north. We're looking at 70 here. There's the orange and green building is a Mexican restaurant. I can't recall the name of it. We can see the name there on the map. It's Cucula Mexican restaurant. Now we're looking west, back towards the Super 8 Hotel. Those pads down there, this used to be, I don't know if it was recently active, but it used to be an RV park. I don't believe it's been active recently or actively used. Okay, now we're flying east. And I believe that area on the right where there's so much sediment and why we had so many locations to dig, the river kind of takes a right-hand turn there from going south to west, and I think maybe the turn caused a lot of sediment to drop out. Here we're looking at one of these two-story multifamily complexes is completely missing. Again, no evidence of it there. I would imagine these others have sustained a lot of damage even though they're standing. Let me pause the video and we'll get a comparison on the map. So what we've done is we've flown back this direction and we are going up here. So that large multifamily unit, this one is missing here. And then we're going to take a look up the river here. And now pointed back at Super 8 Motel. And that's Interstate 40 in the top of the screen. All right, I think we come to an end here. All right, well, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I plan on continuing to do them, just show our recovery. over time, and how our community is recovering from Hurricane Helene. If there are any areas you'd like to see me see some footage of, please drop me a comment. And I'm generally staying pretty close to our area and communities of Black Mountain and Swannanoa, but could reach out beyond there. Thanks for watching.